Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we are tackling one of the absolute most polarizing, fascinating stories in the crypto space right now. Today, we're taking a really structured, objective look at the source material surrounding a project called BlockDAG. We're going to unpack the massive claims, the totally staggering numbers, and the intense controversy surrounding the whole thing. All right, let's dive right in.
So this project is pretty much the ultimate Trojan horse of the crypto world at the moment. On one hand, official project sources and market forecasts are framing BlockDAG as this revolutionary Layer 1 blockchain. They say it's equipped with world-class, lightning-fast tech and backed by a jaw-dropping amount of presale funding. But on the other hand, a very vocal, grassroots community is raising some severe alarms, accusing the entire operation of being nothing more than an elaborate, multi-million-dollar illusion. Our goal today is to look directly at what the data, the white papers, and the community are saying side by side.
Section 1. The technology behind BlockDAG.
To actually understand all this hype, we first have to break down their incredibly ambitious technological foundation. Think about a traditional linear blockchain like Bitcoin. It's basically like a single file line at a grocery store. Everyone has to wait their turn, right? Which means you're only getting about 7 transactions per second. It's super secure, but man, it is slow. Now, contrast that with a Directed Acyclic Graph, or DAG architecture. BlockDAG claims to use this to essentially open multiple parallel checkout lanes all at the exact same time. Instead of waiting in a single file, blocks are created concurrently. Theoretically, this pushes their throughput up to a massive 10,000 transactions per second.
But here's the catch. If everyone is checking out at once, how do you prevent someone from spending the exact same digital dollar twice? Well, official sources point to a consensus algorithm called the Phantom Ghost DAG protocol. It basically acts as a tiebreaker. It looks at the entire network and groups well-connected blocks from honest miners into a blue set, while isolating the suspicious, poorly connected blocks into a red set. In theory, this lets the network process transactions concurrently, while safely resolving the notorious blockchain trilemma. You know, that tricky balance of speed, security, and decentralization. Building on top of that, the project documentation boasts what they call a hybrid dual architecture. They're claiming to merge 2 totally different crypto worlds. First, you've got a Bitcoin-style UTXO model, which is designed for lightning-fast, highly scalable peer-to-peer payments. And second, an Ethereum-style account model that's fully EVM compatible. That just means developers could easily port over their existing smart contracts and decentralized apps. And the real kicker here? These 2 separate systems are supposedly linked by a seamless, trustless bridge with a fixed 1-to-1 exchange rate. It is a wildly ambitious technological pitch.
Section 2. The record-breaking presale.
Okay, so we've seen the promised tech, but the financial metrics? That is what truly put this project on the map. We are looking at a massive presale phase that reportedly ran from late 2023 through early 2026, raising an absolutely staggering $450 million. I mean, according to reporting from major exchanges like KuCoin and Bitrue, this was one of the most capital-intensive fundraising events in crypto history. It reportedly drew in over 312,000 holders, driving the artificial presale token price from just 1/10 of a single cent all the way up to a 5-cent Genesis floor for its centralized exchange debut.
So, you might be wondering, where exactly do all those tokens go? If you look at the official 150 billion maximum supply of the BDAG token, the allocations are heavily weighted and very strategic. A full 50% is reserved for miners, to incentivize securing the network long-term. Another 33.3% went straight to those early presale participants we just talked about. The remaining slices are carved out for the community, exchange liquidity, and a notably tiny 1% reserved for the development team.
Now, let's walk through their official timeline to see how this all supposedly built. Their roadmap claims a core development kickoff started in January 2024, followed by a completed mainnet in November of that same year. Fast forward to late 2025, and they outlined a massive rollout for DeFi tools and stablecoins. That naturally leads into a March 2026 global exchange debut, and right around the corner from that, the heavily anticipated April 20th, 2026 launch of their Super App, which promises to literally integrate mobile mining directly into users' smartphones.
Section 3. Mining hardware and ecosystem.
Alongside the software and the tokenomics, BlockDAG heavily marketed a physical product ecosystem. Specifically, they pushed this device called the X10 miner. According to coverage from the Crypto Reporter, the whole pitch for this hardware was about striking simplicity. Setting up the official X10 miner supposedly involves just 3 steps.
You plug it in via USB-C, you scan a QR code using your mobile app, and then you just tap your phone once every 24 hours to keep the mining session alive. The claim? This little plug-and-play device could earn users up to 200 BDAG tokens per day. Zero technical skills required.
And to really bolster their claims of operational integrity, official project updates proudly wave around their CertiK security audit. That audit reportedly found no critical risks, and the project claims they swiftly resolved 7 minor findings by putting in place robust multi-signature authorizations and time delay systems. So on paper, and through all their official marketing channels, it looks like a future-ready, heavily funded, technologically advanced powerhouse, right?
Section 4. Severe scam allegations.
Well, here is where we execute a very sharp pivot. Stepping entirely away from the polished official marketing, the reality out in the grassroots community forums is drastically different. Just listen to this Reddit quote that really sets the tone. Users are alleging they've lost massive chunks of their investments. They're reporting undelivered mining hardware and completely missing funds. As this user emphatically warns everyone else, they genuinely believe investors will never see their money again.
And the accusations get highly specific regarding that technology we broke down earlier. Another user on the crypto scam subreddit alleges a total lack of transparency. They're claiming there is no real white paper, no verifiable GitHub repositories, no verified team, and absolutely no real execution of that roadmap we just looked at. Basically, the community is accusing the project of faking its mainnet activity, arguing the whole thing is just flashy marketing and fabricated dashboard numbers.
And look, this isn't just isolated forum chatter anymore. It has attracted serious external investigative pressure. Users are reporting their tokens are mysteriously disappearing after they try to claim them on the base network. Prominent crypto investigator Zach XBT has publicly warned people about the project's shifting timelines and the alleged lack of any actual working product. On top of that, a massive Deal News investigation dubbed the whole project a $442 million mirage, pointing to totally hollow sports sponsorships used to lure in new investors. The pressure has mounted so high that groups of disgruntled investors are now reportedly threatening systematic fraud and RICO lawsuits against the promoters.
Section 5. Bull versus bear forecasts.
So with these two extreme narratives colliding, world-class tech on one side, severe scam allegations on the other, what is technically at stake for the price? Looking at the 2026 forecast scenarios compiled from platforms like KuCoin and BitTrue, the contrast is just staggering. The bear case sees the price completely collapsing to a fraction of a cent, 0.001. That happens if those community red flags are true, resulting in broken promises, weak liquidity, and a massive early investor sell-off. But conversely, the bull case models a price target of 25 to 40 cents. That highly optimistic scenario requires the project to actually deliver on its promises. Specifically, knocking that upcoming Super App launch out of the park, securing Tier 1 exchange listings, and proving their DAG technology actually works in the real world.
Which brings us to the ultimate question you have to ask yourself. Based on the source material we've explored today, does the promise of that super innovative, high-speed BlockDAG architecture justify $450 million worth of hype? Or are the glaring, systematic red flags raised by investigators in the community just way too loud to ignore? Whether it turns out to be a revolution or a total mirage, this is an absolute masterclass in why navigating crypto requires looking past the polished marketing and doing the hard work of diving into the data. I'll leave it to you to decide its true legitimacy. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.